Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Derek Sockleben. I am joined by Steve Petrato, and today we are going to talk to you about the Revolution Roguewave. Now, this is a new product that we announced yesterday under the Revolution brand. It is a 10-inch self-righting boat. Now, I know we're in a studio here, so we brought in a little bit of water, as much water as the video team would let us bring in with all this equipment, and we're going to throw it in the water and show you a couple features. So, kind of just jumping right into it, it's a very durable, small boat that is perfect for pools and small ponds and areas like that. It's nice with its size that you can run it in a lot of different places that you typically wouldn't be able to run, a larger boat with a lot of speed to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing boats for years on the side for fun, and you get a big boat that does 50 miles an hour, and you're like, wow, this pond is a lot smaller than I thought it was. It turned in from a huge couple-acre pond to now you're doing 50 miles an hour across it in a few seconds. Something like this, drop it into a kiddie pool, into your above-ground pool, in-ground pool. I mean, if you had a big bathtub, maybe a jacuzzi.
It'd be a pretty big bathtub.
Some people have got big bathtubs, Derek.
Yeah, if any of you watched the product video yesterday when we went live with it, we shot the product video at the YMCA pool here in town, and we were kind of shooting most of it in kind of the shallow end, and it was a relatively small space, but these things are very zippy, but with the turning radius that they had, it was no problem.
Yeah, the video really shows its performance pretty impressively. So let's talk about performance-wise. If you get in here, I mean, I've noticed. I didn't know this because I'm not really on your team as far as this goes, but it looks like it's water cooled.
It is. So
pretty cool.
The brush motor in there is actually water cooled, and I'll pick it up here. There's actually a little inlet hole on the bottom of the hull, very, very tiny in the back here, that pulls water in, runs it through this silicone tube, and runs it over across the top of the brush motor here, and then exits out the back. So this is a feature that you find in a lot of larger boats to kind of keep them cool with an enclosed hole as they run. And you don't have to worry about with it being silicone and sealed, you don't have to worry about getting water in the hole. And even if you do, all the components are waterproof.
Yeah, I noticed there's a nice, you guys probably won't be able to see it, but there's a nice like jacket, almost like a gasket around where the hatch comes off at. So obviously when that gets pressed down, it looks like it's even more waterproof. So and you said the electronics are okay to get wet mostly? Splashes here and there?
Yes, so the electronics are waterproof. There's a 2-in-1 receiver ESC on the top that sits on top of a waterproof servo also. So even if you do get some water in there or it's moist, you can it'll dry out and it's not gonna affect the running or anything. So as Steve's putting the battery on there, that battery just sits right on top of kind of a little plate that the drive shaft runs under, plugs in, and yeah, it fits in there really nice on Velcro, so you don't have to worry about it jostling around or anything.
Yeah, that's all you need on a boat this size. It's real small, but so you got shaft drive all the way out to a propeller. It's not an impeller design, right? So
no.
The difference there, if you don't know the difference, obviously a propeller has a prop like a helicopter or car or airplane, and then you have the impeller design, which is on other type of products that kind of looks like a jet ski. It just blows out water to propel. So this is a prop. Now the benefit here is shaft driven, very, very strong.
Yes.
Props are easy to replace. That's the little nut here on the back. You just pop it off, and then you have this rudder, which is right in line. I noticed, and I haven't spent a lot of time looking at this, but it's right in line with your propeller, which is why you have such good performance left and right. A lot of times boats put the rudder on one side or the other for a good left or right hand turn radius. This particular boat has it in the center, which again, that's why we're so zippy and agile in the water with that.
Exactly.
So really nice. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, and the response time on the throttle is really quick too, because the drive shaft comes directly out of the motor. There's no there's no
gearbox
or anything like that. So it just comes directly out. The motor's kind of tilted, so it goes to the bottom of the boat there.
Perfect.
Speaking of steering, there is something that's really nice about a boat this size and for this price is the 2.4 gigahertz transmitter does have steering and throttle dual rates. So there's a little button here on the top of the transmitter, and if you're in a larger area and you want to be a little more stable and not so zippy, hard 90-degree turns or anything, you can turn that down to kind of the low rate mode. It's very smooth. It keeps up on plane really nice. And if you turn it up, as you saw in the video, in a smaller space, it handles really, really well.
So they got double A's in the radio, so they easy to replace, probably last quite a while. The ergonomics of this is nice. It's got a nice foam mount there, especially with a boat. It's nice to have something to grip to because your hands usually get wet, so the radio will be easy to steer, so that's nice. Well,
it's the form factor is very similar to what you're going to find in a lot of surface transmitters, so it's going to be very familiar. It's not going to be kind of the small, little dinky transmitters. It's a full-size, surface transmitter. So people that are used to that are going to be very comfortable with it.
So let's put this thing in the water, man. I'm getting bored.
So so we got this nice bucket of water up here.
Well, and then I'm not bored out of the product. I'm bored that I want to see this thing flip over because I've seen it on the video, but I've never seen it in person. And why not have a boat when you can put it in the water in the studio?
I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in here. You can drop it in upside down, and then it's gonna flip right back over. You can drop it in, any different way. It's gonna flip over. And I don't know if Mary, you be able to get that there. All right. So the nice thing about
this, don't tip the water to show her.
Right. The big feature on this that a lot of people are going to appreciate is it is self-righting. So like you saw just there, there's a kind of a ballast system down one side of the hull here where this is actually hollow. So when it sits in the water, it's actually going to sit a little bit tilted. And then when you get on the throttle, it gets up on plane and it skims on the top of the water, kind of like a typical F1 or any kind of speedboat does. But if you slow down or if you capsize, and we did this in the product video a couple times where I was driving with Pete and Pete hit me, flipped me over. Takes a couple seconds, it'll flip
Not
right
even.
back
I mean,
up.
that's like almost instant. It's like you don't even have to worry about flipping the boat over.
So as soon as it gets over,
that's pretty crazy.
Get on the throttle and you're good
now,
to go.
when it sits like that, I mean, the question I have is, does that really affect performance much? I mean, obviously there's a little water in there, but once you get up on plane,
right? So
you're carrying almost no water weight, really.
No, because the way it is there's an inlet in the front, and then if you could see back
it does
here,
have an exit pad.
It has an exit in the back. So as soon as you get up on plane, as soon as you get on the throttle and start moving forward, all that water in that hole exits, and it just skims right on top of the water.
Okay, so it's not like you're carrying additional water weight for ballast to reduce performance. You're just gaining it when you're sitting there, and once you get going, it's all out of the.
It's all gone.
It's going to get sucked out of the back of the boat anyway. So that's pretty cool. It's a design I've not seen before. It's a design I like because you don't have to wait for a valve to open to fill a ballast. You don't have to wait or you don't have to use battery to flip yourself back over. It's just boom, right back and going. So I don't have to worry about it. So for you guys with kids out there thinking about getting them a boat for this summer, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, and you're worried about, I'm definitely not going to go in the lake and fetch my kid's boat every 2 minutes. Talk about the perfect design where you're just like, hey, just wait for it, little Jimmy. It'll flip right back over.
A couple seconds and it's back up and you're on the throttle again. Speaking of running around the lake, the runtime on it, so the battery that it comes with is a 7.4 volt lithium ion 360 milliamp hour battery. Now this is relatively small, but with a small boat and a brush motor like it has, the runtime is good. It's upwards of 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes we're getting a little bit better than that.
That's really good. Boats are obviously running in water, which is a heavy drag scenario. So you're always having to use more current. Just like in a car, you pull a lot more current anyway. So you get 7 minutes out of that. What's the charge time with the out of the box setup? So
the charge time, it comes with a little USB charger in the ready to run kit. So this whole thing's ready to run. Everything that we're talking about comes out of the box.
Single purchase.
Like that. Exactly. So the USB charger that it comes with, it'll charge a battery from dead and anywhere from right around, I'd say, hour and a half, 2 hours or so. It's not too bad. It's a 1 amp charger.
So you definitely want to consider picking up some extra batteries. I mean, that's with any RC product. You want to get some extra batteries. Have it there. If you go out to the lake and you have 3-4 batteries, you can run for a lot longer than have one charging or get another charger and have double. And if it's USB, pretty much every car in production now has a USB in it. If you have an older car, you can get those little adapters for your cigarette lighter and charge in the road.
Yeah.
Always be with your batteries when you're charging, just as a safety thing.
Of course.
Especially if you're putting it in your nice car. But that's awesome. So lithium ion, these are great cells. It's not a lithium polymer, so it's not as crazy as that. But it puts out great power from what I've seen in the video.
Yeah, totally adequate power. The nice thing about it is with the pack like that, it's a lot more durable than a soft pack lithium, a LiPo battery that you see in a lot of airplanes and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
very cool. And it looks like you have 2 color options.
So 2 color options. The boat that's kind of just floating around there in the water, that's a little bit more white dominant, and then we have the reverse with the orange hull here. So if you're buying it knowing that you're going to go out and run around with some buddies, having 2 different colors. With this being a race-inspired, F1 style boat, it makes it really easy to kind of remember who you are. If you're kind of jostling back and forth, you can remember I'm the orange boat, I'm the white boat, and race and have a good time.
Yeah, and so this is painted. This isn't like sticker sheets. This is a painted hull, painted canopy. And guys, let me show you this how it mounts on here. If you zoom in here, so you've got these little latches. You just kind of click with your thumb over to that side, and then one over here. Click on that, and then the hull you just push in the back and forward, and you'll notice. If you can see on the front of this canopy, there's a little latch, and I'll turn it a little bit. Maybe you can see that, but there's a little clip there, and so when you put it back on, put your battery in, you just hook the nose, put the back down, and then click your 2 latches, and that's going to help seal that canopy down onto that gasket in there, so you don't get water in there. So pretty cool.
Yep.
What about replacement parts and stuff?
So we have a full line of replacement parts with this. Everything from the propellers, extra fins. The servos, the 2-in-1 ESC, all those parts are replaceable. So with this being, a hobby product, even though it is entry level, it is really affordable. We do have a full line of replacement parts. And if you nick something, or if something goes wrong, or you drag the propeller through a rock or something and it's dinged up, you can replace that really easily. So it is a hobby grade product, just like everything else in the Revolution brand that we have. So that being said, because it is Revolution, this is a local hobby shop exclusive brand, so you can only find these at your local Horizon retailer.
Yeah.
We don't carry these online. If you go on horizonhobby.com, there's a find a retailer tab where you can punch in your zip code and it pulls up all the local retailers and our partners in the area. Reach out to them. These will be coming in about a month or so. So
not bad. Well, just in time, the weather is turning, and guys, the reason this is Derek said, an in-store exclusive. So you're only gonna find it at your hobby shops. It's $69.99.
$69.99.
So $70 out the door. You've got a boat for you, your kid, your wife, your girlfriend. It's an awesome machine, and support your local hobby shops, guys. That's what keeps this hobby going round. You can go to them. You can ask them for support questions. You can get parts without having to order from anywhere. The hobby shops are the lifeblood of this industry, and keep them going. We really are happy to have those guys supporting something as cool as this product and the rest of the Revolution brand, which is full of cars and quads and airplanes. Right? So you've got everything you could possibly get into RC-wise in the Revolution brand. So if you've not been a fan of Revolution yet, go to your local hobby shop, check it out. If they don't have it, tell them they should, and then they'll call us. So, anything else you want to talk about on this?
That pretty well covers it. I don't know if we have any questions. You kind of been watching the Facebook feed there. Covered.
Yeah, I've been checking Facebook. Where can I see this boat in action? Let's see. Well, I know we'll bring this thing to pretty much every event that has a pond to it. We'll have probably have it at Toledo. I don't think we'll have water there. But we'll bring it to Joe Knoll.
It'll be going out to Toledo, and you can kind of get your hands on it there.
Yeah.
Water situation maybe kind of here or there, but we do have the product video if you want to see us running around in a pool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the quickest way to see it in action is watch the video. If you want to see it in live in action, then you're gonna have to maybe go to your local retailer. Hopefully they have a pond out back. But guys, check out the video. It looks like the Horizon social team just posted that on the Facebook feed, and I'm sure you guys can find it as well on the YouTube feed. So check that out. Remember, $69, ready to go out of the box, 7-minute runtime, awesome boat, self-righting. If we missed anything, I don't know what it is, so I think we covered it all.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, well, this is my mug. You can't have this mug. This is from the Legend kit from the IX-12. This is my fancy, we're going to get a close-up on this? It's still warm, so.
You're hijacking my life, Steve.
Yeah, I know. Spectrum plug, shameless. Hey, well, we're wearing the new Blade logo, and we're showing off some swag. But anyway, guys, well, I had fun, Derek. Thanks for having me on, man. This is fun to talk about boats. I don't get to do that a lot. Guys, I guess have a great weekend. And like Derek said, this will be out really soon, just as the weather's turning. Get to your local hobby shops. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.